I'll open with a karakia. Ko koe te atua o te ngāhiri ko tānei mahuta. Ko mātou o kaitiaki. He manaaki I tō māma a papatuanuku he tiaki o tamariki. He noho ora a ngā hua rere atu, rere mai, ko te awa kairangi.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Jolene taku ingoa. The reason we are here today is to seek your support for Puawaitanga. Like many schools in Aotearoa and globally, we're finding demand for counselling is increasing. Additionally, the nature of issues for which rangatahi seek support are becoming increasingly complex. Our counsellors have limited capacity and we feel that implementing Puawaitanga will provide an opportunity for our community to support the well-being of rangatahi rather than their being reliant on one-on-one sessions with a counsellor. Puawaitanga will build the profile of our pastoral team, reducing barriers that some of our rangatahi experience when seeking support for their mental health. I'll now introduce my team who are presenting with me. Laurel will explain the therapeutic approaches that influence the design of Puawaitanga and alignment with Te Tiriti o Waitangi. Sophie will explain the needs we hope to address through implementing Puawaitanga and how this program draws on the resources of all members of our school community. Kylie will explain how Puawaitanga will be implemented, and Jacob will explain the role of nature as a tool for wellbeing and how we can evaluate the success of Puawaitanga.
Puawaitanga is influenced by the following therapeutic approaches. Firstly, it is a humanistic counselling practice. We are committed to a mana-enhancing counselling approach based on a humanistic foundation with pluralistic tenets. Engaging the rangatahi away from the counselling space and in a natural setting provides an opportunity to nurture a growth-promoting relationship in a more relaxed, power-balanced environment. Important to this is client autonomy as a fundamental aspect of a humanistic practice. This autonomy, as defined within self-determination theory, allows rangatahi values, beliefs, and feelings to guide our counselling program. Secondly, as a school situated in Aotearoa, New Zealand, it is critical that any therapeutic approach we implement recognise Te Tiriti o Waitangi and the partnership between tangata whenua and Pākehā. It is essential that our approach allows participants not only the opportunity to engage as Māori, but also to be understood as Māori. In Te Ao Māori, it is understood that there is an interconnectedness between all things. Enlightenment comes from understanding the social, spiritual, natural, and physical world in which the individual exists. Lastly, ecotherapy can offer significant benefits. Puawaitanga utilises our local green spaces and river reserves and enables our pastoral team to spend time with groups of rangatahi. Ecotherapy affords rangatahi choice in how they engage with support for those who may not feel comfortable in a counselling space indoors.
Rangatahi tell us that they have three main needs. They need relationships beyond the classroom, they need support to disconnect from the school environment, and they need cultural engagement. Reflective of research, we need to build connections outside the counselling space so that our students feel understood, valued, and can comfortably share. In addition to technology dominance, kaiako observe reduced social interactions, and some whānau cite safety concerns around accessing green spaces. Feedback tells us that there is a need for more regular mana-enhancing cultural activities that actively engage our students. Furthermore, our local iwi are keen to interact meaningfully with our rangatahi. This is reflective of our local curriculum where our connected community is committed to embracing a Te Ao Māori approach to wellbeing.
As a school, we're fortunate enough to be within walking distance from our local Ngāhere Reserve. Based on our research presented within this proposal, we'd like to utilise a Ngāhere as part of our therapeutic program to meet the wellbeing needs of rangatahi and resolve the guidance counselling issues we're facing. We'll be asking 15 to 20 rangatahi who have identified through our wellbeing survey to join us, the guidance counsellors, in spending one lunchtime a week throughout a 10-week term down at the Ngāhere Reserve. As guidance counsellors, we will carefully scaffold Puawaitanga through empathetic dialogue, but invite rangatahi to freely explore for themselves alongside whānau, youth workers, teachers, local iwi or other community members who have offered their time to provide a holistic approach to group counselling. Creating time and space for the rangatahi to explore their culture, sense of belonging and connection to school, to whānau, to friends and the community, to develop their identity, to make positive contribution, experience achievement and show resilience. Our aim is that through puawaitanga, rangatahi will feel safe and secure in the knowledge they are nurtured and cared for, understand who the adults are they can turn to, who grow their potential and celebrate their success, who supportively discuss life's options and work through problems. Through this process, we feel rangatahi will be empowered to take charge of their own mana atua as they strengthen their social and emotional competencies, self-confidence and decision-making skills, creating an optimism and well-being protective factors for the future.
Collaboration is key when seeking to enhance the well-being of our rangatahi. Puawaitanga positions us to work in collaboration with nature in a co-therapist relationship and fostering a sense of belonging to our world. And in paying attention to the language, the speed, and felt sense of nature's rhythms, we can find these as a mirror to the rhythms of our own lives. Through partnering with nature, rangatahi can experientially learn the seasonal rhythms of life and death, rupture and repair, inherent in nature's resilience and wisdom. From our relationship with nature flows collaboration with other stakeholders towards developing a youth-centered vision of well-being. Through implementing the circle of care concept, we can role model values of partnership, manaakitanga, and ako to the rangatahi involved.
The important treaty principle of partnership will be upheld in this wellbeing program by creating links between tangata whenua and tangata tiriti. In particular, this will be with local iwi tiatiawa. The purposes of this are to ensure that Article 3 achieve equitable health outcomes for Māori and the Ritinga Māori Declaration, that this is done in ways that enable Māori to live, thrive and flourish as Māori, are upheld in our program implementation. The core benefit of this is to help address the lingering impacts of colonisation that have resulted in alienation from ancestral whenua, loss of spiritual knowledge and connection to the land. It also upholds the Te Ao Māori understanding of the connection between people and Papatūānuku as having immense benefits for Hauora, both for Māori and all other students. This will be done by establishing partnership in which pūrākau is contributed of local area, knowledge of plants important to rongoa, and connections to atua such as Papatūānuku and Tawhirimatia and Tāne Mahuta.
Research shows that whānau engagement within a young person's education positively impacts their well-being. Therefore, our Puawai initiative is committed to building an environment of collegiality through partnership with whānau, iwi and the local community. This mana-enhancing approach will allow for the sharing of strengths, knowledge and skills and life experiences. It will create a space for whānau to walk alongside their rangatahi within the Puawai program. Additionally, it will uphold our commitment to whānau, valuing their well-being and regarding them as an integral partner within the counselling space.
An evaluation of puawaitanga will primarily rely on perception data due to the program's experiential and qualitative nature. Teachers with regular contact with the rangatahi will keep a journal and fortnightly log their observations on the perceived impact of the program. Later, semi-structured interviews will also be conducted with the rangatahi at the end of the program. Outcome data in the form of student evaluation sheets will be used to gauge the level of well-being self-assessed by the rangatahi at different stages of the program. Outcome data will then be interpreted to explore the potential impact of puawaitanga in areas such as referral rates and academic engagement. The perception and outcome data will be focalised through the 4 interconnected po of Te Whare Tapawha, while remaining open to elements of Hauora that are broad, limitless, intangible, and non-measurable. We'll close our presentation with Te Whare Huia Milroy's whakatauki. Ko tahi karihi nāna ko te wao tapu nui a tāne. The creation of the forests of Tāne comes from one kernel. Starting small leads to growth. Thank you for listening.